Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
And welcome to the 492nd episode of the PUCL Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, and I am here today with my statuesque co-host. I don't remember who joined when, but I'm going to say P McGee.
Hello. It's fun to be first every now and again.
And we've also got Clod9 as well.
Yo, what's good?
He's very statuesque.
I am the least statuesque person I know.
If you're in high school, we're giving you SAT words from now on. Statuesque is your word of the day.
Definition, please?
I don't have it. It's just a random generator. Statuesque.
All right.
Statuesque. I'm looking it up.
So ST.
Okay, statuesque. Attractively tall and dignified. Oh,
that's incredibly not me.
That's fine. Don't worry. Don't have to. It's a podcast. They can't see you. All right. So, welcome to the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon from the video game to the trading card game to everything in between. The everything in between has been happening more often lately, and I really enjoy it. But yeah, we play. We're a bunch of nerds. We play Pokemon and we hang out. Maybe nerds is nerd a derogatory term now?
I don't know. I feel like it's an empowered word these days.
I feel like it is, but I feel like it's misused. I don't know.
That's probably accurate as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's misused to some extent. People are just like, oh, yes, I'm a nerd. And I'm just like, well, are you a nerd because you're just wearing glasses? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I was born by that word, molded by it. I don't know. It's fine. If you want to be a nerd, you can be a nerd. If you don't want to be a nerd, don't be a nerd. Don't hate on people who want one thing or the other.
Easy peasy.
You be you. You wonderful people listening to this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So have you guys been up to anything fun lately? Anything fun? I don't have good stories.
Snapping some photos.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's been a fun challenge.
Oh, yeah? Any good ones?
I had a fun one of a Bidoof. I posted it on the Discord when it happened. And then there's this cool looking Whooper one.
I'm trying to still get a hold of the little printer. It's very hard right now.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun to have. There's some photos I would consider, because you can edit them post doing your snap thing, and so you can actually like recenter something to make it look nice and actually print it out. But I've been too lazy to do that because I can't print them out anyway. I can only save them to the album and then maybe share them to the Discord. I haven't been motivated. And I also haven't gotten a good picture that's motivated me yet. They're all kind of like neat, but not neat enough.
I would say the little printer is pricey anyway. It's something like $90.
Oh gosh.
The idea is that, so it wasn't made just for Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
This is something that's existed for like a couple years now. And they're just like, oh yes, we will make a Nintendo Switch app that is compatible with it. That was the big thing that happened last week.
Yes. Nothing else.
It was just that. Nothing new. Nothing else. So I don't know. And even then we don't have the Pikachu one. So what do we even care?
That's true. That's true.
Why do we even care?
Yeah.
We have to worry about that stuff, but I don't know. Claude, what have you been up to? I know you've been up to some fun stuff. You mean, tell us about your life if you want to share. You don't have to.
Yeah, I opened a show this past weekend. Yeah.
Claude's a professional actor, BT Dubs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I decided.
I mean, I technically get paid, so I guess.
You are a professional then.
Yeah, I'm professional.
We're all technically professional podcasters. Technically.
Correct.
Technically correct.
Technically correct.
We are technically correct in saying that.
But yeah, I opened a show, so I've been gone for a while, but I am excited to get back to some PUCL life now that we've opened and I have my nights kind of free again.
I'm excited to have you back.
I'm excited to be back. Simple enough.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that you could do a show finally. Like, I can imagine through like the past year it's been not that many shows.
No, it's been nothing.
Yeah.
It seems.
Not many shows. That's what I imagine. That's good. I mean, I haven't done too much Pokemon wise, I guess. I mean, I did the stream. I'm doing the my cat sitting on my desk in front of me trying to push my mouse around. And we've also got, I've been doing some Pokemon Snap, not as much as I've wanted to, just because I'll do something other than like the Platinum Nuzlocke. And I'm just like, I'm tired, and I've been in like a real Stardew mood this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Stardew's like one of those games where it's just like, yeah, if I'm like semi-stressed out with like what's going on in life and work, and like at work I've been going through a lot of stuff in the past month or so. There's like a lot of transitions have been occurring.
Yeah.
And I've just been like semi-stressed out, and so you play Stardew, and Stardew's like one of those games where I can just kind of get sucked in, and it's hard to come up for air. You know, it's always like one of those things where it's like, oh, just one more day. Let's play one more day of Stardew. One more day.
Are you playing this on Switch or PC?
I play it on Switch now. I used to play it on PC. I do it on Switch now because I can carry that around with me.
Very true. Has the Switch launched that new update where you have like the island you can go to now?
It has like, it's like concurrent with the PC.
I knew it was a little behind last time I played, and I hadn't picked it up since I thought that came out. So now I might have something to do this weekend. Yeah,
I'm going to a wedding reception. I am vaccinated now, fully vaccinated. I did the 2 weeks and everything. Same. So I'm going to a wedding reception.
I have one more week till I'm 2 weeks out, but yeah.
These people got married like a year and a half ago, like right when COVID started. And they've been like trying to plan like a wedding reception, have their friends come and see it. And like this one, they're just like, come if you're vaccinated. Like, just come if you're vaccinated. We're vaccinated. Please come only if you're vaccinated. That's
smart.
And so it's gonna be like my first time doing something post COVID. It's gonna be interesting time. We'll see how it goes today. See if I can still socialize.
I went putt-putting the other day. It was weird going out in public doing it. Putt-putting. Mini golfing.
Oh my gosh.
Did an activity.
Weird.
It was weird.
I forgot activities
It was a whole
existed.
weird experience. I know.
Things may be a little different in Texas because I did that like a couple months ago. It was like a fundraiser. Everyone was just wearing masks the entire time and just like, all right.
Things are different in Texas.
Might be a little bit different.
Things are different in Texas.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
The virus doesn't live in the heat.
So I'm excited to do that. I mean, I'm excited to go out and do some more things. Maybe we can all get together in somewhat near term. Maybe a year and a half. I don't know. Whichever one I feel like. As it would be good to see everybody again. But I don't know. Not much else has been happening, Pokemon-wise. I've cleaned my office a couple times because I got like a new desk, and so I've been trying to clean everything up around it at the same time.
Yeah, I've been testing a couple of like ROM hacks for Nuzlocke just to potentially do on stream.
Oh, we should do that.
So
we should do it for an episode. Yeah, I'm all for that. I think a future episode should be a Pokemon Nuzlocke.
A future episode.
If you pick one out, let me know.
There are a couple that I think are a lot of fun and I think would be good content. So
I would pick one. Pick one and then grab me and another person and we'll do an episode on it in the future.
Okay, sure.
Yep. Done.
Yeah, but I want to do one of them on stream and just like...
Sure, yeah.
Take over like streaming for like a week or so and just be like, all right, we're going to crank through this Nuzlocke in like 8 days. A gym a day and then Elite Four.
Absolutely. Like if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it.
That's really what I want to do, yeah. But that'll be sometime over the summer when I have more free time to do this every day. But
absolutely.
So come watch me either get destroyed or, do well in something dumb or stupid or silly.
I'm excited for that. I think this is a good place to wrap it up, though. So we're going to go ahead and let's kick it on over to the news.
Coming to you live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. In the news, we've got, this is probably some of the most exciting news we've had in a while. Nintendo releases quarterly sales reports. And we're just going to talk about the Pokemon related stuff. And it's just going to, confirm all the suspicions I've had about some of these games for a while, but also just be some interesting factoids. So Sword and Shield have now sold 21.1 million copies.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, you get a lot of boost just from being on the Switch, first of all.
And COVID probably helped out quite a bit.
You're also Pokemon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you also get first main game on a console hype. So like, I don't know how much I would look into the sales numbers here of being like evidence of the quality of Sword and Shield. Like, I'm not saying Sword and Shield are bad video games per se. Like, I think in terms of just like the grander scheme of video games, Sword and Shield are good.
Yes.
As a Pokemon fan, I think you can have some criticisms.
Oh, absolutely. There's enough there to justify the purchase at $60.
Yes, absolutely. I think Sword and Shield are still good video games. But yeah, 21 million copies, I mean, you have a lot of other factors, like first game on the Switch. Video game franchise hits the Switch for the first time. Their sales numbers are crazy high compared to the previous titles.
Yes.
Like, I think a good example of this is Zelda. Like, Breath of the Wild did stunningly well. One, it is also a good game.
Yes, also a good game.
Also a good game, but it, like, previous Zelda titles never hit anywhere close to, like, the 17, 18 million copies they've sold now. So it's just something to think about. It's one of those things to be aware of. Like, Animal Crossing did the same thing.
Oh, yeah, it sold crazy amounts.
Buku copies, yeah. Like, if you're a Nintendo franchise and it's your first time on the Switch, you're probably selling pretty well.
Yep.
Let's Go sales numbers came out as well. And they're up to 13.28 million copies, slowly moving upwards from their 2018 launch. It is.
I mean, they got out of 2017 having sold like 10 or 11 million.
Yeah, not 2017, 2018.
2018 having sold like 10 million, so we're not.
They sold 10 million copies in like the first 2 months, if that and then look at that hard drop off.
Flatlined quickly.
That means in like the past 2.5 years, they've sold to like 3.5 million copies.
Yeah, I just don't think there was enough content in the game.
Yes, and I bet half those sales are from parents that got confused about the titles when they went to the store to buy a game for their kid, and they brought the wrong copy home.
I don't know about half. I would say that a lot of it was, again, building on the hype of like, oh, first Pokemon game on the Switch. Then everybody quickly realized, oh, not like a real Pokemon game on the Switch.
Exactly. Like,
I think Game Freak in general, and this is Thatch's opinion, and Thatch can absolutely be wrong. Please feel free to disagree with me. But I think they were really trying, like Pokemon Company in general, has very much been trying to like latch on to the hype that Pokemon Go had in 2016. Like they try to latch onto that. That's what Let's Go tried to do. I mean, literally, it's got the Go in the name and the compatibility with Go to up the wazoo. You know, just having the original 151, so on and so forth. It was really trying to recapture that magic with Pokemon Go, and it didn't work.
No, they wanted just a little bit of that $1 billion.
Yeah.
13 billion copies isn't the worst at the end of the day. I mean, in context, it probably will ultimately be higher selling than Snap or Mystery Dungeon, so it'll still be their second highest selling game. It might still outpace BDSP just because remakes tend not to sell crazy high copies.
I think the problem with saying that is I don't think there's good data for it personally. I think in terms of just looking at the remake sales numbers, because the remake sales numbers kind of go along with how well the generation's doing.
True.
If you look at Orez sold incredibly well.
Well, Orez, there was so much to do.
Yeah, Orez sold, I think, something like 14.3 million copies or something like that. X and Y at the same time sold 16 million copies. So it's like a 2 million difference, but it's not really that much of a difference when you look at it at the end of the day.
It's a remake. That makes perfect sense. That's great.
Killer numbers. I mean, if you look at the amount of work that goes into it, like they don't have to develop the story or anything.
Yeah.
They brought in the guy at the end to be like, let's do a Delta episode. And he spent like 3 days writing it. That's all they did. So I think that's just something to consider in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sales numbers are interesting. I always like looking at them and just trying to speculate what might be going on. And then you just like look at the data from across generations. But I mean, Sword and Shield have sold incredibly well.
Yeah. This time next year is going to be fascinating though. Like, because we'll have two different games as part of the...
It depends on what Game Freak does, because we still don't know what they're going to do in terms of like their main competitive game. Like, where's competitive going to live?
I think it's staying on Sword and Shield, if I had to guess.
I think so too.
I think it should stay on Sword and Shield. Will it? I don't know.
I think it is, because that's the whole gimmick of this generation is the Dynamax. So they're going to have the whole Diamond and Pearl, but I think what they're going to do, and I think this is their smart decision, is after the Diamond and Pearl remakes, they have compatibility with Sword and Shield, so they can go to the Galar region and Dynamax, and so on and so forth.
We'll see.
That's my hopeful optimism.
This is the logical pathway that they could take.
That's what they should do. I think in terms of PR, it would look really good if they finished the decks in Sword and Shield, and they did that. I absolutely agree with you, because Diamond and Pearl and Platinum have surprisingly complete Pokedexes and like Pokemon availability.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And surprisingly, those games are worth so much money now if you have the original copies.
Yes, they are. Anything on the DS, actually, in that era is worth a ton of money. It's skyrocketed recently, like in the past year.
That and like Pokemon Coliseum and Exegil Darkness are like both $100.
Oh, that's been that way for a while. Mostly because the GameCube didn't sell well. So there aren't a lot of GameCube copies of things floating around. It's both horrible and great. Personally, I'd say you should just mod a GameCube. You can do some really cool stuff. And you could just like load the ROM. But it's just me. Let's move on, though. Let's move on.
Yeah. So the anime has another season coming out, their 24th. The Pokemon Master Journeys, which continues to be about Ash and Go as they go through their adventures, and Go continues to try to find a Mew. And I don't know what Ash is doing these days, but
he wants to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that dream stays alive.
Ash just gets to have like fun. I honestly think they just get to go and have fun with Ash while having Go do the collection aspect.
Yeah, he's got his team. We don't have to go through 300 episodes for him to like assemble a team. It's here already. It's like fully built.
But he has to battle enough people to make it to the Masters tournament and, fight Leon and then have their battle never end, and that's how they end the series. With a giant cliffhanger.
I kind of hope they don't end the series. I don't know, like if they do it at this point, like it feels like part of me dying,
Yeah.
It's been on for so long. The anime's been running for so long. I don't think that Go should take over. I don't think Go's nearly as strong of a character. I don't think he's a strong enough character to do that, and I don't think he's got... I think, again, it's TPCI, like, clinging on to the Go mentality of, like, oh, Go is successful, let's try to make it happen again. I mean, if you watch the anime, especially the first episode of Journeys, they're definitely trying that. And they obviously are because they named a character Go.
Yes.
And his whole gimmick is literally catching Pokemon like you do in Pokemon Go. Even like one of the first times he catches Pokemon, you hear just a random voice say, "Nice." Yeah, that one I was just like, I hope this isn't a regular thing. They're really trying to play on that, which is very interesting to me. Just looking at like the Pokemon Go player base, which has been slowly decreasing over time. But yeah, that's fine. The anime is fun. Speaking of Pokemon Go, Thatch is playing it. I'm sorry. I like poop on people on like TPC. I like grabbing it, and I'm just like, I enjoy this sometimes. Right now, there's an event going on that's going on until Tuesday after this comes. Not the Tuesday after the show comes out, but the week after. It's the Lumiose X Legends event. And right now, they're increasing spawns of both Fairy and Dragon-type Pokemon, which is really good for those of you who paid for the Mew research thingy-majigger that I didn't pay for because I wasn't playing Pokemon Go at the time because it was snowing. It's also introduced new Pokemon such as Spritzee, which is annoying to evolve, Swirlix, which is annoying to evolve.
Wait, how do you evolve them?
So you have to put both of them as your buddy, and Swirlix you have to give 25 treats as your buddy.
Oh my god.
And Spritzee you have to do an incense. I don't remember how many. It might only be one.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross. And then Gumi, I caught 2 of those this morning, so that was nice.
I want a Gumi.
And Xerneas is also in tier 5 raids. I've got 3 of those now. I'm done with that. It's also along increased spawns of other dragons and stuff. It's a really good way if you haven't like gotten your gold medal for your types in like Fairy or Dragon to like, especially Dragon, to go get your Dragon type medal.
I don't think I have my Dragon type medal.
It's a very good way to do it right now. Dratini and Bagon are everywhere.
That's fine.
There's also going to be some timed research that allows you to get a Rainy Lure module. This is a new lure module they introduced so you can evolve Sliggoo into Goodra. Kind of like how you could evolve Magneton into Magnezone and so on and so forth.
Nose Pass and Probopass.
Yep. It also just it increases spawns for those that show up in rainy weather, like electric type, bug types, water types.
Nifty.
There's also a global event. This has already happened. It's already done. That will provide 3 times Stardust and introduce a shiny Galarian Ponyta. People have caught 500 million Fairy-type Pokemon by May 11th. It's already happened. This is May 8th. It happened actually on May, I think, 6th.
Did it really?
Yeah, they did it it happened in like 2 days.
I knew you were like unsure if it was going to happen, and I wasn't sure either. I guess we were...
Yeah, I was blown away. It happened in like 2 days.
Gosh.
It was crazy. What was worse is Niantic's definitely phoning it in nowadays. And so they did like a raid thing like this a few weeks ago, where it's like, oh, you all need to complete 40 million raids and then we'll do this. And so like there's a nice little tracker in Pokemon Go for you to do that. There was no tracker for the 500 million fairy types for this. You had to like go to their Twitter and they would just like periodically update us. It was literally the worst. They're definitely phoning it in. So yeah, this is going to happen starting May 11th, which is this Tuesday. You can get Shiny Galarian Ponyta, which is the research reward right now.
Oh.
You can also get your 3-time Stardust. I think Pancham also gets unlocked.
Ooh,
cool.
I like Pancham.
This event is going to be followed by another one, the Lumiose Y event, which is coming out not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday when this one ends.
Yeah, presumably some dark types.
I think it's adding Inkay.
I can buy that.
I think it was their backup if Pancham didn't get unlocked.
Can't wait to hold my phone upside down.
You have to, yes.
Yeah.
Is that really how they have you doing it?
Yes.
That's
cool. 100%.
Yeah, they're very true to the game in that respect. I like some of the interesting ways to evolve some of the Pokemon, but anything that involves it being your buddy kind of sucks.
Yeah, I hate the buddy aspect. It was annoying evolving Eevee into Umbreon or Espeon.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So they just keep rolling it out to new things.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of annoying evolutions, Swablu is going to be the next Community Day Pokemon. And that event is happening next Saturday from 11 to 5 local time. So go catch 400 candies worth of Swablu, get a shiny, evolve it. You can pay for some research if you want. But the meaningful thing, and it's not even related to Swablu, is that only a couple weeks later we have another Community Day, and it seems people are very excited that it is Gibble. So keep yourself ready for the Gibble Community Day.
Yeah, they've been asking for Gibble for a very long time.
Yeah.
I understand the hype. I also at the same time I'm like I have a Garchomp. I have a Garchomp. They must be wanting to release Mega Garchomp into the game, and that's how they want to do it with the Community Day.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because the June Community Day I thought was going to be Tepig, but apparently I was wrong.
No. But if you are looking for PUCL news...
That's the important news.
Yeah, the important news.
Yes.
This Thursday, McGee and I are going to be back streaming some Poke the Episode on the Twitch.
Twitch.tv/the PuclPodcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a blast. We're going to go through a bunch of teams for May. We took this week off.
Yeah.
And if that's still not enough for you, this Saturday, the 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing the PUCL monthly trivia that I host on Twitch. So if you want to test your luck with some trivia, it's going to be a lot of fun. I have a blast doing it. We'll see if anyone can, do well.
Sari won last time. I was the real winner, though. I was.
You had the most
winner.
answers correct. She just answered some of them
she
faster.
Answered some of them faster. That's it. I missed like one or two of the questions too. I didn't answer some of them because I was just like thinking, and I hit it like just too late. I got them right when I hit them just too late. So it didn't register those either.
Yeah.
Oof.
I was the real winner.
Okay.
In the way it matters, you won.
In my heart, I was the winner. In my heart, I was the winner. No, those are fun. I'm excited. I'll probably play in this one too. So definitely check those out. Those are both at twitch.tv/the PuclPodcast.
Yes.
On that note, we are going to kick it on over to Pucl's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And thank you to Mark from the Dunsparce Gang for giving us that wonderful intro. So without further ado, guys, I've got some questions for you for your $25 gift card to, or $20. I'm like generous. 25. What am I talking about?
Yeah. What are you made of money?
To PokemonCenter.com. Yeah, am I made of money? What is this? It's $20 plus or minus 5. I don't care. This is your first question this week, and it's going to come to you from J345. What region in the anime is the first to show a Pokemon with regional differences?
Oh gosh.
I will say these regional differences don't have to be present in a game.
Technically, now if you want to be specific, I think you could say it was. It would have to be Kanto, because they've talked about.
Why?
They've probably talked about, I got this from somewhere else and brought it here. Or it was Johto and they brought a regional thing.
Well, wasn't Crystal Onyx in the original? So. Does that count?
That has to count, right?
That's like a regional variant kind of thing. It's like in the special location in a different region area. I don't know. I don't know if that counts.
Something like that would count. Something like that would count. Yes.
Yeah, Kanto.
Kanto. I'm gonna take the answer as correct. I will say it's not Kanto specifically because they're calling the Orange Islands. I guess is technically a different region,
anime,
but I don't think so.
It's the first anime, or like I guess you could say it's the Tracy arc, but
yeah, it said what region in the anime. You gave me a time region in the anime, so I'll give it to you.
We named it.
Yes.
Yeah, you named the actual first one's the Vileplumes because the Vileplumes actually have a difference in their designs as well as the Pudgy Pidgeys.
Pudgy
Pidgey. Oh, Pudgy the Pidgey. I remember that in.
No, Pudgy Pidgeys. Pudgy Pidgeys. There's several of them.
I don't know what I'm thinking of, but never mind.
There's several of them. Dude, Orange Islands is the best of the Pokemon anime, in my opinion. The Orange Islands is the best of the Pokemon anime.
I liked watching Pikachu beat Dragonite. That was always fun.
Honestly, anything where they try to come up with like original content in the anime is very good.
Yeah.
It is very good, and so the Orange Islands are fantastic in that regard. And that's why I think Journeys is so good as well. They're doing a lot of original ideas with that. More power to them. So we'll give that one to you guys. A 1 for 1.
Woo.
Thank you for that, J345. All right. So this next one is going to be from the British Gent.
Ooh.
I hope you guys know the manga.
Nope. Bunting this to Claude immediately.
It's that time again. The British Gent enters his Pokemon manga trivia. I don't know if this is from the British Gent or from Liger. I don't know if that... I'm reading this word for word. I was asked to put a hard question here, so here's something you will love. Pokemon Adventure, Gold and Silver. Last time we found out about Gold's first 2 Pokemon were Aipom and Cyndaquil. What amazingly great, strong, powerful Pokemon did he catch next to join him on his quest?
Besides Aipom and Cyndaquil?
That's sarcasm. That's sarcasm.
I bet it's like a Weedle.
It's
I do know a little bit, I think, about his team. I'm pretty sure that he ended up... I just don't know the order of anything, is the problem.
I will again, for this question, I don't believe you guys were on the last manga one.
No, I was. I sat there while Linian sorted through it, or someone like that.
So, the thing is, I know his team. Like, I'm pretty sure I know his team, because it's...
So, British Gent did say that the free hint is that he is very sarcastic about saying what amazingly great, strong, powerful Pokemon did he...
Alright,
Yes.
So that means it's one of 3 options I can think of, because I know he has a Sunflora on his team, which means he would have caught the Sunkern, I'm hoping. I know he has a Sudowoodo.
That's got to be the answer. That's got to be the answer.
I think I'm pretty sure he has Politoed and Mantine, and I think Togepi or Togetic or something as well. I'm thinking of the generic Johtomon.
It's got to be Sunkern.
Alright, then we're just gonna go with Sunkern then.
Sunkern is correct.
Yes. 30s across the board. It's got to be Sunkern.
He caught it. Yeah, he caught Sunkern. That was 100% what he caught. Oh, right. And he named it Sunbow. For those of you at home who definitely cared. Yep. Sunbow the Sunkern. All right, so welcome to the Pokedex entry. You get 1 shot to try to answer it. I do need you to lock in an answer before we give you the second entry if you were wrong. So, this week we have it from Murray, and this entry comes to you from Pokemon Sword. This Pokemon loves sweet sap, and will go looking through forests for it. The Pokemon uses its 2 antennae to pick up scents as it searches.
Heracross.
Who's that Pokemon?
I was the first thing on my mind as well, so we can at least try that.
I've been watching a lot of the anime, and I just remember Heracross loving the sap on the trees, and I'm like, well, there's my first name.
Yes.
Is that your final answer, Heracross?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. Heracross is correct.
Yes.
We got a new Pokemon Snap entry as the second one. These Pokemon are incredibly powerful, strong enough to toss even large foes as they weigh nothing at all. But they're usually rather gentle, offer sharing sap with other
Snap
Pokemon.
Entries. I'm gonna have to put some of those in for trivia.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
We got a couple hundred of those for the future to use.
You guys are 4 for 3 right now. You guys have a perfect run going. So this next question is going to give you a total of 2 points possible. It is a multiple answer question. You can only get 2 points. This question has 5 answers, so I will need 4 of them to give you the full points. You'll get 1 point for every 2 answers. If you get all 5, you get an extra bragging rights. I don't know. You get a kudos. I say good for you guys.
All right, McGee, let's do this.
And this is from Liger himself, the trivia master. And he wants to know, this is related to Pokemon Go because that's been the theme today. We talk about Pokemon Go. Once you hear the question, Claude, I think you'll feel okay. You do have to lock in every answer. You will get 2 strikes. If you get upon the second strike, you will be out.
Okie doke.
What are the 5 Pokemon in Pokemon Go that require 400 candy to evolve?
Okay, well, this isn't bad. Yep. Gyarados, Magikarp, Swablu is 2 of them.
Those are correct.
So there's 1 in Generation 2, I believe. There's got to be.
I don't think there was Generation a Generation 4. 2 one, I guess.
So that's 1 point.
I mean, so is Volcarona released? Because I know, what's its name?
It's not released. It's still not released.
Oh, the big boy. The from Gen 3.
Yes.
The big one.
Yes. The big one.
Wailord.
Yes, Wailmer.
That is 3. That is correct.
All right.
There's 2 more. There are 2 more out there that require 400 candies. One of them you should know, and you're just not thinking of.
Yes, that sounds 100% like us.
The other one, I don't expect you to know.
So did Gen 2 have one?
I don't think so.
Question. I'm trying to think. There's not a lot of options to work with in Gen 2. Gen 4 should have one. The question is, what would it be?
I don't think Gen 4... I remember playing up to Gen 4, and I do not remember anything else besides the 3 that we have mentioned.
Maybe the answer's in a mystery box.
Oh, yeah, Meltan. Okay. Dunzo.
So would you have accepted Eevee as an option because it takes like almost 400 candies to evolve all of them? Okay.
No, I would not have. I would not have accepted that. The fifth answer that I did not expect you to get is Noibat.
Oh, I knew that. I just forgot. I forgot about Noibat.
So that gives you guys 6 for 4. You haven't used the hint yet. This next question is your base stat question. The 2 of you I know will probably home run this.
I hope so.
I was on the recent game corner with you. You should not be thinking this.
You just said EQ though is my thing as long as it's the top. I don't know the bottom nearly as well. Oh gosh.
Well, they're all the bottom today. So this question comes from Spike. And Spike wants to know what ground type Pokemon has the lowest overall base stat total.
Lowest base stat total of ground types. The first thing that comes to my mind is Diglett, but that's probably not. That's just a guess.
Wooper's got to be in contention, right? Wooper's pretty bad.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of what else is bad. Are there baby grounds?
Sandygast
anywhere
comes to mind as well as potentially.
I don't think Sandygast is as bad as that though.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's that bad. I think we're gonna have to use our hint, though. I don't feel with any confidence that we're gonna guess this correctly.
I want the full 8 points.
But you can use it for next week, so now you can get away with 7 or 8 next week or next time.
Yeah, but or if I get 8, I only have to do 6.
But if you get it wrong, then you have to get a perfect run. You can settle for.
I can settle. Yeah. Fine, but okay.
Yeah, give it to us.
You want the hint? This is a dual type ground, so it's got another type with it, and it is Gen 2.
Wooper.
I can't think of any other ground type in Gen 2 besides Fanfin. I know Phanpy is higher.
And it's a monotype.
And Gligar is higher.
Yeah.
Any other ground type Gen 2 mons could think of?
Okay.
Higher.
Then I'm on the Wooper train.
What's your answer? Wooper?
Whoopie-doop.
Wooper. Whoop whoop. It is correct. That gives you guys 7 points today. That changes our standings, kind of. So in first place, we have Claude with 23 points. We're in a race to 30, for everybody's remembrance. We've got P McGee in second place with 21 points. We've got Whimsicott in third place with 15. Jushiro in fourth place with 13. Sigma in fifth with 12. Linian in sixth with 8. And also everybody else with 8. So there we go. Done. Okay, so that is it. We will be back with more Puckle's Poke Quiz next week. Until then, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back at you with the topic. Hey guys, make sure to check out the Puckle YouTube this week and see if you can catch our Soul Silver Puckle Plays Nuzlocke, where we're going to play Soul Silver and we're going to Nuzlocke it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you head on over to youtube.com/PucklePodcast. And welcome to our topic. Our topic this week is going to be DLC in Pokemon. Should it be there? I just come up with a very bad paraphrase of whatever the title ends up being, because I haven't decided on the title quite yet. Yeah, no, Pokemon DLC, though. P McGee brought up when we were planning the episode, like, a good idea about just talking about DLC, because Pokemon Snap itself has what looks like room for DLC to happen, and probably will. We don't know if it's paid yet or if it's going to be free, but the code's leaving it open for that. I assume paid, but
yeah.
I could also see it being like, hey, we updated the game with free stuff. Go play Pokemon Snap some more because we finally gave you the printer in the US with the Pikachu on it. And that's what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. But I think it comes to a deeper question, like McGee suggested in our group chat while we were prepping for this episode, asking whether or not Pokemon is a franchise that should have DLC.
Yes.
I thought about this question after you asked it, like, a lot. And my personal opinion is that I think it's okay in Sword and Shield for sure. Like, I'm very excited about the DLC in Sword and Shield.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it was done very well. There's nothing wrong with it. At no point have I ever thought to myself, oh, this should have been in the main game to begin with, minus the Pokemon. In terms of what it is, I think it's great. And I really liked, even though like I can complain about Dexit all I want, I think the way that they rolled Pokemon into competitive, either intentionally or unintentionally, the way they did it, I think was very cool and very fun.
Oh, absolutely.
I really enjoyed the rotating meta that was occurring throughout Sword and Shield. And now has kind of come to a standstill.
I even like the time where they were like, all right, well, you got everything, but we're going to still take things off the table.
No, so I think the biggest thing that I miss in general are like those random tournaments they would do where it'd be like, yes, you can only use Pokemon that are in the color categories purple, yellow, and pink.
Yeah, you can't really do those right as much right now.
It's really hard to do it without the full decks, I think.
Yep.
Right now they've got something like 700 mons in the game.
Yeah,
I think it's okay.
They're so close, and like I don't know. I'm looking forward to BDSP because I'm assuming there'll be some sort of like patch where they'll add some sort of event, or maybe that'll become a series of its own if they move over entirely to that.
See, I'm not sure. I'm almost convinced BDSP is going to be the baseline game is the entire game because they got Legends literally just around the corner.
Yeah.
And Legends has everything written about having additional content. Like everything about Legends makes me think there'll be more than one batch of content getting released for that game. I don't
think so.
And so they don't want I can't see it being a release a full game at launch and that's the last they do with Legends. So that seems like they want to like push that all year long with additional content. That's the vibe I get from it, at least. The
vibe that I've gotten from the whole thing so far, like my thought process is we were supposed to have really cool Sword and Shield stuff going until like October, maybe even September of last year before the pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. And then that DLC was supposed to come. And then we were supposed to get like BDSP in 2020. And that got pushed back because of the pandemic to sometime later this year. And then we're supposed to get Legends at the end of 2021. That's the way I think it was supposed to happen.
But now we're getting it spring 2021.
Now we're getting spring 2021. I also, personally, I think that Legends is the game that Game Freak wanted to release, and BDSP was a nice safety net.
Yes. Can't go wrong with BDSP, except they did with the art style, but that's another topic.
I'm not as bothered by that as other people are. I don't have issues with the art style. I know a lot of people do. And I can say that, especially being on the other side, that even if you don't have a problem with it, you can definitely be upset about it. I mean, that's a perfectly valid feeling to have. I'm just not bothered by it. Like, that's not going to ruin my enjoyment of BDSP. The graphics, the graphical style, especially like since the battles they said are just legitimately the Switch engine.
Yeah.
So I'm not as worried about that.
Oh, as far as like Legends is concerned, if it's anything like Breath of the Wild, like, oh, cool, this DLC will be suddenly, this area opens up and now you have a whole other like slew of quests to complete. Yeah, I think it's also worthwhile to mention that Legends isn't going to be multiplayer, like at all.
Yeah, which we kind of expected.
Yeah, I think Legends in that regard. Like, I mean, maybe you do a little bit of DLC, but I don't think you do much.
The one thing that worries me about, like, if there's going to be DLC is the fact that, like, Pokemon's always been a group thing. You can always battle other people, always fight other people, always trade. Legends is the first step away from that, really.
Yeah, I agree with that to an extent, Claude. The difference is Legends doesn't have like two versions, so like they're not trying to force that interaction, obviously. And I don't think that means we're not going to get quote-unquote traditional Pokemon games. Obviously, we get BDSP right beforehand.
Oh, we will. But like, I just don't think that's going to lead to DLC for it, though.
No, I don't know that we get DLC. Like Legends feels like DLC for BDSP, if anything, right? I don't know. I don't think they're going to try to push DLC. Especially with BDSP at this point. I thought, because my original thought was BDSP was going to get DLC, kind of like we got DLC in Sword and Shield. where you'd get like, oh, hey, here's some DLC and here's some more fleshed out versions of the mythical events that were in Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, I just thought that was a cool way to do it because you have a lot of in-game events in Diamond and Pearl that you can't very easily access. And I mean, they obviously are planning for these types of things because we've seen in the screenshots, like the lady in Floroma Town gives you the Gradacia flower for Shaman.
So Thatch, I have to ask, if you were to describe like what would be your perfect DLC for a game, or let's say the Switch. Let's go with Sword and Shield, base Sword and Shield. What would be your ideal DLC?
Like, assuming we already have the DLC that we already have, or
sure. If not even just like what you would want in an ideal DLC.
From where we are, I mean, I've spoken about it a couple times. Like, I'd really like to see. Like, I think it would be really cool. One, I think Megas should come back to Sword and Shield. I think Megas are just like a very good mechanic that everybody gets behind. And I'm very upset that one, they didn't get fleshed out more in Gen 7. That they didn't just like keep building on that a little bit. They're just like, nah, Z moves. Which were what a big flop. I wouldn't call Z moves a big flop. I think they're really cool in the lore of Alola. I think they're really cool. PvP, they're nonsense. They shouldn't exist.
Yes.
In the gameplay and like exploring Alola makes total sense. I don't think they should have tried to make Mega Evolution like a Kalos thing.
They didn't make it a Kalos thing.
That makes no sense to me. No, they did it because of Oraz, right? It's awful. I really hope that they try to build on it a little bit more, because they did with Oraz, right? We've all kind of assumed like, oh, after Oraz, we're going to get more Megas, and that didn't happen. But I think they should bring that back to some extent in a DLC, because just remember the hype for Megas when they dropped the trailer for Pokemon Go? And like everybody got super excited when they saw Megas and then got disappointed when it was for Go.
Yeah.
Like it was just like this simultaneous feeling that everybody had. It felt like when Obi-Wan Kenobi says that he just heard thousands of voices crying out. It felt like that for me when I watched that announcement. I felt that millions of people crying out in anguish. We were all simultaneously disappointed that it was for Go. I think it's such a hit, but I think you do a DLC where you introduce Mega Evolution into Swish.
Yes.
And I think that opens you up to add in a few of the Pokemon that are missing, like Mareep, Numel, stuff like that.
Yeah, the question is, are we done with DLC for Swish? It feels like we are if they haven't announced anything by this point.
I think the DLC that we got for Swish was very good, and I like the idea of doing DLC to build onto Pokemon games.
Only other DLC in my mind that...
I should say traditional Pokemon games.
The only thing I think I would really like, and this is just me going back to like what I remember and what I really enjoyed, was I would love just a DLC that's just, imagine a Battle Frontier. That's the entire DLC. Seven different places to go and do battles. Get the Battle Factory back, because Battle Factory on Switch would be awesome.
Battle Factory in general anywhere would be awesome.
We know they can do it because they're doing it for Dynamax Adventures, basically. We know it. We know it's there. We know they have the ability to do it. But like, I loved having those restrictions in the game where it's like, okay, you have to think about building differently because of what you're facing. Or it's like, oh, in this place, you can't use any items while you're in here, and you have to make it through this maze, and you're going to constantly get toxic or statused. And you have to choose what you want to do and how you build your mons to have like heal bell or rest on them so you can survive more. Like, it just adds an extra level that I think would be entertaining to both play and, do with friends.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. I honestly, McGee and I had a similar idea, because I think you and I were both like, Pokemon Stadium, let's do it.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. I talk about it all the time. Bo, if he's listening, will get mad at me. And the answer is that, I don't know. I think having anything like, I think you could do it better with like a Pokemon Stadium game. You throw in the Battle Frontier into that, because that's essentially what Battle Revolution was.
Well, see, you have the mini games, and then you get the whole Battle Revolution style of going through the different tournaments to fight things, and you can import things directly from home. It would be such a good DLC
that's exactly
game.
I would much rather have that as a game than a DLC.
I'm thinking cheaper, so.
I understand.
So everything about the sales history for Sword and Shield suggests that like DLC is worth doing. And everyone, and the way they did it for Sword and Shield seems like the audience likes it, because what was the retention rate for the DLC for Swish was like super high, wasn't it?
There were reports it was like 80%, but I don't know if any of that's been corroborated, because Nintendo doesn't release their DLC sales numbers. It's dumb. So like there were reports that it was something like 80%, which is incredibly high for any video game ever. I think for Swish that makes sense. I don't think it makes sense for something like Pokemon Snap necessarily.
No, Pokemon Snap's more of like the 25 to like 40%. Well,
it also depends what they do for the DLC for Snap. Like, I can totally see them be like, all right, we're going to throw out this DLC. It's going to be either like, if they do it free, it'll be like, all right, cool. you have to download this and it's going to be like one map. Or it's like, oh, cool, here's a bundle of this whole new area you can go and explore and do your maps for like $5-10.
Yeah, it's not going to be $5-10.
I'm trying to think of like what a single stage costs for like Smash. It's like, oh, if you want to just get this...
A single fighter cost you about $5-6, right?
Yeah, so I think like each new map, like all the different areas and stuff, like I'm thinking around $5. Or they release a bundle for like
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but like... So the issue with Pokemon Snap is like we're not fully convinced it's worth $60 as a base game, and so to try to throw DLC on it with additional costs is going to like rub the wrong way a little bit.
Not even that. The way I'm thinking about it as well, like Pokemon Snap, like it's a fun game and all, but I think it's also one of those games, and this is something that I've definitely been seeing more and more in the past year and a half. And maybe part of that's driven by the pandemic, is that we get a video game and that becomes like the hot video game for the next like month, right? And then after that month's over, that game's dead. That game's not happening anymore. And I think Pokemon Snap is one of those games. It's going to be hot until the end of the month. And then the next thing's going to come on. They're going to go ahead and play the next thing in Pokemon Snap. They're going to launch the DLC. The DLC can do one of two things. It can revitalize the game and people will be hyped for like a week or two with the DLC for Snap, or it just won't get purchased because they'll forget about it.
Yep.
It's just the way it is. I mean, we're Pokemon fans, obviously, and we're like the Pokemon super fans. Look where we are. We're on a Pokemon podcast talking about it, but like we're definitely biased in that regard. But if I'm thinking about like the greater population, those people are not the people that are going to be like, yeah, let's play Pokemon Snap forever. Rightfully so. I completely understand. There's a lot of the games vying for your attention now.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, so the nice thing about DLC for Snap, it's always going to be cost dependent, but the thing that would work well is Snap's that kind of game you play aggressively for like 20-30 hours within the first month it launches, then you really put it down. It's like Animal Crossing. Like you go really intense for like a month or so, and then you die off because it's just, you kind of run out of things to do. You're going through the same cycle. So if a new course comes out every few months for like the first like 8 months, then
that's something. Yeah.
People circle back to the game, but if there's a cost associated, then maybe it's not so great. But I think Snap is the kind of game you play aggressively for a month and then you put down, basically like Mystery Dungeon.
Because isn't there the whole rating system online for it? So it's like, oh, if you take a picture, you can have the highest rated picture, whatnot. But like, can you just see what everyone else's pictures are and then go do the exact same picture and get the same points?
Maybe.
I don't have the game.
I don't know. You should buy the game. I recommend it.
It's not. I do not enjoy it. I was able to watch a couple people stream it, and I'm like, great, this is the fill I need. I don't need to. It's not worth $60 to me.
That's fair.
I think it's one of those games that you should try to get as like a bundle.
It's something where if they offered a whole bunch of DLC down the road and they still kept it at $60, and it was like free, then it would be worth it, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that. I don't know. Like I think DLC's fine in traditional Pokemon games. Anything else, I don't know, because I just think the player base for anything else is not very high. Just based on like the number of people. Like if you look at our staff, right, we've got like 15-ish people on staff, and if you look at the number of people that actually bought new Pokemon Snap, I'd say only half of us did.
That's about accurate.
We're the hyper Pokemon fans.
It's also technically a spin-off game, and not everyone's into the spin-offs.
Yeah, no, it is a spin-off. No, it's a spin-off game. Yeah, but I'd say like look at that, and you got 21 million Sword and Shield players. Half is like for the super fans. You're talking maybe 20% of that maybe will get sold, like maybe 5 million copies.
Not Super Mystery Dungeon, but Mystery Dungeon DX or Deluxe or whatever, it has only sold like 3 million copies or something like that.
That sounds about right to me.
I think that game has more content.
That game does have more content.
There's a lot more to do. There's some levels that I still can't beat and I have to like look up online and do because it's difficult. Snap is just kind of like you can accomplish a lot within a few sittings.
I absolutely agree with you. I don't know. Like, I would be cool with DLC for Mystery Dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do DLC for Mystery Dungeon unless they do a whole new game, which would also be cool. I'd be totally okay with another Mystery Dungeon game.
Yes.
I would 100% be okay if they just remade the old Mystery Dungeon games.
Can they do that?
Like, I'd be fine with that.
I mean, we only really need the Explorers one, and then I think we're basically content with the series.
Yeah, Explorers of the Sky was by far the best one.
Absolutely.
Or Time, or whichever.
Yes.
That's what I keep hearing.
You should play it on stream.
I keep intending to, but I want to play something I enjoy. The only reason I was okay with Mystery Dungeon DX is because it's on the Switch, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that's one, the convenience factor, and then two, I'm not playing it on stream, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I could just sit down and play it at my own leisure. I don't know that I could play Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky on my, or like on stream on a DS and be content with it. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, man, this is really like a slog. I'm not really enjoying it. Like, I like playing games that I enjoy on stream because then everybody else has more fun on stream and it's a good time. But back to DLC though, I think overall my answer is yes to like traditional DLC. Like I'm going to be a little bummed if there's not like expanded content in BDSP, which makes sense at this point.
Well, we don't know anything other than the trailer.
We don't know anything other than the trailer and the press release, which says it's going to be pretty true to the main story or the original games.
Yeah.
I want to believe there's more. I like the whole idea of, all the remakes are taking place in the,
if you read the
like,
press release,
mega universe or timeline.
If you read the press release, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, I'm not confident. Like I said, I'm not confident that game is going to have a lot of additional content beyond what's released at launch.
Fine.
I think if it does anything, we'll get some kind of we'll get like the events for the mythicals or something, and that's gonna be about it. I don't expect anything else.
I mean, best case we get like a wild area like DLC because that seems like something they're getting good at
doing. Not with the art style. That's not what they went with the art style. I think for a reason to.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
To prevent you from thinking that, and I think that's fair. Just because I think expecting a Diamond and Pearl remake to be done in the exact same engine as Sword and Shield is kind of naive, just because they're trying to take a grid-based game and go, oh, you have free movement now. And I don't think that's fair to the game.
The only other thing I can see them doing with DLC as far as like BDSP and Legends is if they do some sort of like bundle DLC with it. Whereas, if you get this DLC for, what's it called? BDSP, then you get to unlock this here, like add all these other like mythical events in, or if they don't give them to already. And if you have it in there and like you have this on your file, that unlocks this whole other area in Legends Arceus. And that you can go and explore about these legends or something like that. Or like,
I would agree with you. I could see maybe not DLC per se, but maybe just like a save file.
Yeah. Well, and I can see that being the reverse for like, BDSP is if you have Legends of Arceus, you unlock the Arceus event in BDSP. That's my guess right now.
That would be cool.
It also gives people a free Arceus, which I don't think they've given away in a while.
Ever?
You're definitely going to be able to catch one in Legends of Arceus, I would assume.
The namesake.
I believe you're going to have home access, and Legends of Arceus makes me understand what they're trying to go for as a company now, which makes me feel less likely that you're going to get BDSP Switch connection. But I think what they're trying to do is, you can complete the Pokedex, but you're going to have to do it over like 3 or 4 games, and they just go to home, and that's home's your hub. Home's your hub. That's a little sad and depressing at this point. It might be just the facts of what we have to deal with now. I don't know. Maybe for the 30th anniversary, maybe they'll be like, hey, here's some uber super game with an actual complete national dex.
Or they could just add battling to home.
You mean Battle Revolution?
Would be content.
That's all we want, right?
With home connectivity. There you go. You're done.
Because in my mind at this point, they don't really have an excuse to not do it. The excuse before was, we couldn't finish the art in time. And then they were just like, well, we can add in the Pokemon slowly if you want. And then they started doing that. And then they're just like, we're coming out with this game that's pretty much going to put the rest of them into that same engine and not put them in the same game, which was kind of frustrating. Pessimistically hopeful that it'll happen. Like, I would like it to happen, but I don't think it will.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. DLC would be cool. I'd be down for DLC in any mainline Pokemon game.
I think they're doing fine enough with it so far. I mean, so like, if they were to ever remake Pokemon Pinball, I could accept DLC of new levels.
If there was like an extra board for Pokemon Pinball and a DLC, I would pay for it. Like right now, if it was Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, and they're just like, hey, have an Emerald board for an extra $10. I'm there. Yeah. I would pay far too much money for that. I would pay more money than I should.
I mean, in general, and this is like a slight tangent, like I'm all for supporting them doing remakes or sequels to some spinoff games. So I want to make sure those feel supported so that they continue to feel motivated to do them.
Especially in the past year and a half, like with both Mystery Dungeon DX and Snap, I think they're really going back to their roots to some extent.
Yes, absolutely.
And I really like that because one, it lets us just kind of experience old things in the modern light, and it's been very nice to see that.
Well, they couldn't figure out how to monetize on mobile. Like Pokemon Go was the anomaly; they couldn't figure out how to monetize on their own. So they've gone back to doing remakes and sequels.
That's a take I really like. I think they really did do that because if you look at Masters, That's a fun experiment. Pretty much anything else that came out after Pokemon Go. I think you're absolutely right. Looking at you, Pokemon Cafe Mix. Did you hear about that, by the way? Pokemon Cafe Mix was supposed to have an update in April that never happened, and instead they came out with an announcement that they were essentially going to rebuild the game from the ground up.
I didn't,
at the end of the year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, it's really bad. It's really bad. All right. On that note, DLC good. Yay. We're going to go ahead, guys. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back at you with the Pokemon of the episode. We will catch you on the flip-flop.
Episode.
And welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 124, Jinx, the human-shaped Pokemon.
It's Pokemon Snap Photo Dex entry reads, because that's a thing now. I've heard that Jinx can make all sorts of things happen just by wishing for them. We did see some odd occurrences in the Shiver snowfields involving Jinx, so there may be some truth to that claim. What an entry.
What an entry. So Jinx is a Pokemon. I'm very surprised it's the Pokemon of the episode, but it is a Pokemon. It had a lot of controversy behind it originally. They did have to change its design because of that. Mm-hmm. It now is purple and no longer black. So Jinx, its base stats are okay. It is a Psychic Ice type Pokemon that's not Mr. Mime. It's got a decent speed stat though.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's 100 or...
It's 95. I mean, 95, 115 special attack, 95 special defense, and we don't talk about anything else. Like that 35...
Immune to water.
It's not immune to water. Does it have dry skin?
Yeah. It has dry skin.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. She should moisturize.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dry skin, oblivious, and forewarned. There's an obvious winner there. Okay. There's an obvious winner. I mean, Psychic Ice is a pretty bad type.
It's good offensively.
Offensively,
yes.
It's a great type. Ice is the best offensive type, in my opinion. But it's weak to rock, bug, ghost, steel, fire, and dark. It resists Psychic and Ice. Those are its resists. Nothing else. So the team we have this week is a VGC team for Series 9, because we're back to Series 7 rules. I'm excited to see what rules they come up with in August.
Yeah, if they even try anymore. I'm hoping I hope they go back to some bans. Mm-hmm. That'd be nice.
It'll be like the last series before BDSP comes out, so I'm hoping it's something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's jump into this. We have a Jinx with dry skin. Great, holding a Focus Sash because it'll die otherwise.
It is a Jinx.
It's got a mild nature. Interesting. It's got 4 HP EVs, 4 attack IVs, 252 special attack IVs, 4 special defense IVs, and 244 speed. That must be a specific speed calc for a base 95 mild.
So it's mild because the speed doesn't really matter.
Okay.
And you want as much damage as possible.
Mild nature is to maximize... Okay, so it's got Fake Out, Lovely Kiss, Ice Beam, and Expanding Force. Mild nature helps maximize the Fake Out damage. And Jinx doesn't lose much from dropping her defense.
What's it?
It's
like
pretty bad.
35 or 55?
Base 35. 35.
Yeah.
It's base 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can spread Lovely Kiss for sleep, and you just max its special attack so that you can Ice Beam and Expanding Force real hard. That's how you Jinx. Yay.
That's how you Jinx. I like it.
We also have Articuno Galar, which is almost an Ice type, but not. It's a Psychic Flying. It's got competitive because that's the only ability it has. Life Orb because they're just there to do damage. Modest nature, because it's there to do damage. And 20 HP IV, or EVs, not IVs, apologies. 84 attack EVs.
No, it's defense.
Is that defense? Oh, it is defense. 84 defense EVs. 148 special attack EVs. 4 special defense. 252 speed. With Freezing Glare, Hurricane, Tailwind, and Protect. It makes sure that Articuno moves before Jinx. And then it can Dynamax. When it Dynamaxes, it actually survives a Life Orb, Dragapult's Max Phantasm, which is really cool.
Ooh.
And a Life Orb, Thunderous Max Lightning, physical.
Ooh.
That's good to know, actually. Okay, this sounds
good on
fun.
you, Articuno.
It's not likely to survive Choice Band Urshifu with Wiccablode, though. or Life Orb, Spectreer's Max Phantasm, or Power Herb, no Legos Meteor Beam. Yes, to all of those make very much sense. It will typically 2-hit KO a Porygon 2 with Max Airstream, and will actually take out a lot of other opponents very early on in the game. And it's got Tailwind just for support, because I think most of these Galarian birds are, I'd say that they're like, hey, here's 2 moves, and then here's Protect and some kind of support.
Pretty much.
And that's all they get. So they were very smart to not give them any moves of like their original typing. As much as it would feel good if it happened, though, wouldn't it?
Articuno would really appreciate an ice attack.
I think Moltres would have appreciated fire, and no, they don't. So Moltres doesn't get any. Galarian Moltres gets no fire type moves. Galarian Zapdos gets no electric type moves, and Galarian Articuno get no ice type moves.
But Zapdos gets actual coverage, so
yeah.
There's a clear winner here.
It's a Galarian Moltres, apparently.
Well, in this format, it's Galarian Moltres, and like traditional things, Galarian Zapdos the true winner, or non-traditional, I should say.
But if you don't want to go speedy, there's another mode for this team.
Yeah, let me tell you about it. We've got Porygon 2, so I guess you can probably guess where we're going with this. 236 HP, 236 defense, 20 in special attack, 4 in special defense, and then 12 in the speed to, I'm guessing, outpace a couple of other things.
To outrun those other Porygon 2, let me tell you.
You gotta get past them. Shadow Ball, very good for Spectrier and for Metagross. Ice Beam, which is good coverage. Recover, because it's Porygon 2, it's here to wall. And then Trick Room, if you need to go slow. And as the Mon to go slow, we've got Alolan Marowak with the Lightning Rod ability, because this team is a little fragile to electric, so he helps handle that. 236 HP, 252 attack, 130 defense, 100 special defense, and then, no investment. No investment in, I lied.
Read the EVs.
I can't do math. 236 in HP, 252 in attack, 20 in speed to outspeed, I'm guessing, other Alolan Marowaks, in case you haven't set.
It's mainly for the Tailwind. Allows it to speed base speed 70s.
Hit out. Okay, I like that. Thick Club, because that's the only item Alolan Marowak should ever have. Adamant Nature, because it's pretty much the only nature he should ever have. Poltergeist, Detect, Flare, Blitz, and Bone Meringue. Very good for getting around a couple of sashes and sturdies. Yeah. That's Alolan Marowak. He hits hard. No ally switch shenanigans with this one, but good electric immunity as well.
Oh, yes. But Tapu Fini leftovers, modest, 252 HP, 4 defense, 172 special attack, 12 special defense, 68 speed with Muddy Water, Moonblast, Calm Mind, and Protect. I mean, it's focusing on prioritizing its offensive pressure, relies on natural bulk to keep it alive. It's typical Fini. +1 speed allows it to outspeed Nihilego, which is why there's only 68 speed in there. It's a standard Fini, pretty much. And then to round out the team, we have an Assault Vest Kartana. Jolly Nature with 68 HP, 84 attack, 4 defense, 110 special defense, and then 252 speed. Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Sacred Sword, Aerial Ace. It has a high chance to Oko Max Bulk Clefairy with Max Steel Spike, which is kind of useful. The guy who made this team said he had no idea what the bulk does, but it looks nice.
I liked it, so I kept it.
So the bulk does something, it lets it do something else, and yep.
I like that we tried to do our research this time, and even the guy who did it, who wrote the team, didn't do his research. Oh my gosh. Oh, this team looks fun, though. I kind of want to try it. Not for the Jinx, more for the Galarian Articuno. I want Galarian Articuno to be okay.
I like Galarian Articuno.
Yeah, they said they have 3 main ways you played the team, depending on what you're up against. So
yeah. And Articuno seems more of the star than Jinx, personally, but
It definitely is. But it has a Jinx on it, so that's why we're calling it the Jinx team.
It is a Jinx team, yeah. All right, so definitely catch it in the Pokemon of the episode, but I think you guys are going to stream it this week as well.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
I'm excited. So you can also catch it on our Discord server, so be sure to check it over there if you haven't already. So until then, though, we're going to kick it on over to the mailbag, where we're going to read some emails. So we'll catch you over there.
It's mail time! God, hey! Send in your emails. Mail!
And welcome to the Mailbag. The Mailbag, as always, is brought to you by the fictional energy drink, a Green Toros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hubs.
You know somebody could just make an energy drink like that right now, and we've had years of advertising for them.
Yeah, all of that for free.
All of that for free. Welcome to the Mailbag, though. The Mailbag's a segment where you can send us an email at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll go ahead and read it on the show. We typically have a prompt. Last week, we just asked you what your opinion on Pokemon Snap was, or new Pokemon Snap. So I'm really excited to jump into these emails and see what you guys had to say. So let's grab this first one from Sari this week. This is for Thatch to read. Howdy, Puckle. I hope y'all well and causing some fun chaos wherever you may be, and not getting sick or something. I haven't left my apartment besides for work, and I barely know what day it is anymore. That's very relatable. Anyways, Pokemon Snap. I am a longtime Pokemon fan, but I have never had the opportunity to play the original Snap. So I'm coming at this with fresh eyes. Man, did you guys play the original Snap?
Yes.
Like Clod and
yes.
McGee?
Yes, I owned an N64. I've been trying to talk my wife into getting that hooked back up to play some this weekend.
Okay. But
so I remember being on like a cruise ship and them having like a game room, and that was one of the things that was there. And I remember like sitting down with a couple other kids and just going through Snap trying to like take pictures of everything.
I have so many more questions after hearing both of these answers. And I don't know if it's good or bad.
What do you mean?
You found it on a cruise ship? Like,
yeah. That's how I learned about Pokemon Snap.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, anyways, Pokemon Snap. I've never been a competitive Pokemon player. The series captures my desire to escape to another world that few other franchises have. It is almost single-handedly responsible for my interest in pursuit of animal behavior and even my current work with training and veterinarian work. I was that kid who tried to write naturalist accounts as a child. How do Pokemon hold all that water? Why is Shink's electricity portrayed as blue in the anime, but Pikachu's is yellow? I had even written about regional variants way back, even though that was more about how do Meryl exist in Johto and Hoenn? Silly stuff. New Pokemon Snap brought back the excitement I had as a child for just a few days before the grind of the game set in. But that fallback made the game entirely worth it to me. Being able to observe snippets of how these fun little monsters might live in natural space frequently made me call over my fiancé just to point and marvel at the little things. A Sharpedo snapping at the rails, or a mother Pokemon caring for its offspring. My giddy return into childhood excitement had me dreaming about the game for just a couple of nights. That's a really good immersion. Actually, the game's pretty good. I'm really happy with the game. I wish that Pokemon would push more of its natural world element in their main series games. I think that if they did, it could really truly recapture that special element that the games had for so many of our childhoods. I think the main series lost that over the years and has become a bit of a grind in itself. I would disagree with that sentiment, and only because Sari would allow me to. I think it's more accurate to say something like, because a lot of the poses that happen in Pokemon Snap actually happen in Sword and Shield. Like, the big one I can think of is the Emolga, like flying at you in that first area. It does the same thing in Sword and Shield when you're in the Isle of Armor. Granted, I'm not saying like base Sword and Shield had it, but the DLC did. Where like you had Pokemon flying around and stuff like that in their habitats. Obviously the Sharpedo coming to chase after you and stuff like that as well in the Isle of Armor. Maybe this is all the Isle of Armor. But like something like that kind of makes sense to me. So I would disagree to some extent, because I think the DLC for Sword and Shield was very, very good in that regard.
Yes, absolutely.
I wish that Pokemon would push more of this natural world element in their main series game. Oh, we already did that. The Snap continues to capture my interest here and there, though the ultimate weakness of the game is the fleeting nature of its gameplay loop. I hope that the next time I inevitably play this game from a freshest start, months from now, will once again strike me as it had the first time around. And I hope it did the same for y'all. Did Pokemon affect your career choices? Except you, Thatch. Yeah, I think you're just a dweeb. Truth.
Did Pokemon affect my career choices?
I don't think so, obviously.
I think my career helped my Pokemon more like it, because I had a lot of
yeah.
I was at like work, like just downtime at work, or like I'm just like, all right, I'm doing work and I need something to listen to, and that's how I found PUCL, which then ramped up my Pokemon involvement.
Oh, I'm a bad influence. That's what I'm hearing.
No.
Kidding. Anyways, as Bob Barker said, spay and neuter your pets. Seriously, there are too many, and give your animals some pets for me. All the best, Sari. That's a good one. No, I don't think Pokemon's ever done that. Pokemon's definitely had like a significant effect on my life, obviously. Like I've made a lot of friends, including these two guys, through it, so I wouldn't call it a bad time. So our next email is going to be from Mo.
Hey, Puckle peeps! I am loving new Pokemon Snap. It's the perfect balance of nostalgia and updates to the modern era. I remember playing the OG as a kid and constantly wishing there was more. More Pokemon, more interactions, more courses, and boy did this revamp deliver. Really my only gripe with the game is the sorting buttons on the request page. It really bothers me that they put the X button on the left and the Y button on the right, considering the buttons on the controller are the opposite. You have no idea how many times I clicked the wrong one, but that's so minor I can live with it. Have you guys gotten that money shot that somehow seems to fall shorter on score than you expected? That's the case with my Liepard 1-star shot. I thought the size and placement were perfect, but I seem to keep outscoring it with others. It's one of the few times I'll pick a lower scored photo for the decks because I'm too proud of it otherwise. Do y'all always select the higher score photo, or do you go for the aesthetic of the page?
Right now, I go for the high score.
Yeah, I gotta hit those different star ratings. I don't care what the quality of the photo is. Sometimes I can't even see it behind the leaves in some of my shots.
I think it's really great now that like in post you can actually go and you can reorient it, which is kind of how photography works now anyway. Like that's why stuff like 8 and 4K cameras exist, is because you take the picture or you take you film in 8K and then you go ahead and you shrink it back down to 4K quality after you've cropped everything around.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the whole reason like 8K cameras exist. It's not so you can go get like watch 8K content. Your 8K if anybody buys an 8K TV right now, by the way, I think that you should just not fall for the hype.
It's like those 3D televisions from like the late 2000s.
No, you absolutely shouldn't. Like the amount of right now 4K TVs, you need something larger than like a 75-inch TV for you to like notice the difference in resolution between an 8K TV and a 4K TV. Unless you like to like stand right next to your TV when you watch it. Your call. Continue though, Claude. I'm sorry.
No worries. My last topic of the day is Hippowdon. I got a shot of him and it's probably my favorite of all shots. But it made me realize something. Since when does the hippo have paper for fingers? I mean, like for real, it creeped me out. They're so flat, I can't imagine they provide much balance support for a hippo. And they are so stretched out. I don't know, I guess I never saw them off the ground before. Odd design choice, I guess. But who can't love him?
I think in Hippowdon's original sprite, it's in the sand. Like, it's not even, like, you can't even see his feet.
Oh, I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's, like, in the sand. I'm gonna look this up.
Getting a little long, so I'll wrap it up here. Keep up the great work. MO. P.S. The other picks are Pukumuku because Larry, and Flygon because it made me think of Sari.
Larry.
So I think Thatch will put all these photos that we have in the show notes, and then
maybe
we'll talk about something else after. This inspired an idea.
Yes. All right, we got one more email this week, and it is from Shark Finnegan.
Yeah, and I got it. Hey, Puckle crew, Shark Finnegan here. I just wanted to share my 2 cents on Snap. Firstly, this was a great tribute to the original game. You can't say enough about how great the graphics are and how many different interactions there are. Secondly, I just enjoy how many ways you can play the game. I've been alternating between completionist mode by getting a complete photo decks with the diamond stars and competitively trying to rack up the highest course scores. I cracked top 25 in the world for the Meganium Illumina spot and number 45 for the cave stage currently. There's a lot that I want to do in this game. I think I'll be able to keep myself busy for a long while. Sharing 2 of my favorite picks, one with and one without editing. He's got a Bidoof surrounded by hearts, and then 2 Volcaronas that are looking right at the camera, which is pretty cool. And that's all from Shark.
Ooh. Yay. Pokemon Snap's been exciting. I really like the energy around it. It's just been so wholesome and
It's
fun.
very wholesome. Yeah. There's technically a competitive aspect if you want to do like course scores, but like that's not really that big of a deal.
It's great. So
you can just have fun.
So that's it for the mailbag. Do we want to give the green tourist badge to somebody? I think almost all of them have it. I know
if they don't have it, they can have it.
I know Sari has it. Let me
Pretty sure Emo has it.
I think Emo has it. Let me look. I'm going to take a look. Let's see. Emo is Emo does not have it for this year.
Oh,
Emma
cool.
wins it.
So it's Emma.
Emma, we're not even going to consider Shark. Okay.
Sorry, Shark.
Sharks was nice, but nice and brief. Emma's had a lot more.
Okay, you know what?
content
You're
to
right.
it.
You're right. Yeah, Emma, you get the green Tauros badge this week. Sorry, Shark. Try again later.
Send us more in paragraph format.
This does bring up the other thing. Do you want me to mention it now?
You can mention it. Yeah, you can mention it. I think we're gonna. I think there's like a few logistic things, but I think we'll figure it out.
Check out the Discord over the next couple of days. By the time this comes up, it'll probably be out there. But
yes,
because of all these photos that we're seeing and people are having, we want to give the idea of doing a Pokemon Snap photo contest. Doesn't have to be your highest rated thing, and we're going to let you, the community, decide who wins. So, yeah, I think that'd be a fun idea to do for the show. There'll be more information on Discord once we actually have it figured out.
Yes. So, yeah, on that note, if you want to catch up with us, make sure you come to the Discord. It's a great place to keep up with all of us. We're all there. We hang out with you guys. Well, this is literally just to force you all to be our friends. And we want to be your friends. So definitely come over to the Discord to do that. That's in the show notes.
Yes.
And hopefully I will finish setting up pucldiscord.com so that you guys can just type that into your browser and get there. So you can also go ahead and follow us on social media over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, all those fun formats. You can also go ahead and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepoclpodcast. Watch myself and these wonderful gentlemen play some Pokemon during certain days of the week. I'm very excited. Like our Twitch stuff is just like really ramped up. It's been really fun. I just like streaming on Twitch. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, it's fun.
I just like doing it and interacting with the people that show up to the stream. And then you could also go ahead and go over to YouTube at youtube.com/PuclPodcast and watch these two guys again do more stuff. Hopefully I get some more stuff rolling over there in the near future. You can also go ahead and support the show by going over to Patreon at patreon.com/PuclPodcast. Get access to hopefully the new anime podcast that should be recording tomorrow, maybe. And then you can, of course, be able to get some Pokemon giveaways or access to breeder bots, stuff like that. You can also support us over on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepoclpodcast, once again, with a Twitch Prime sub or with bits when you're watching or anything. We really appreciate all the support you guys give us. It allows us to do a lot of cool stuff. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and what is it? We're going to go ahead and end the show. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. I've been Trainer Thatch.
Oh, I've been P McGee. Not used to being second, clearly.
I'm always third, so I'm Clod9.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
It's closing time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbyes. It's closing time. Farewell, my friends. I'll catch you on the flip side.